Authors, editors, publishers, book cover designers, agents, critics, readers. A whole lot of professionals come together for a book. I am your host, Koral Dasgupta, all set to ask some interesting, straightforward, and fun questions to our guests. Today, I am sitting with author, editor, and journalist Satya Sharan. Welcome to the show, Satya.
Thank you.
So, Satya, something that I really wanted to ask you, that from journalist to you are a very well-known biographer. Was this journey a natural progression or it happened by chance?
No, a little of both. I think a journalist is always a little bit of a biographer. When we do interviews, we are doing mini biographies. But the first biography, which is of Guru, that happened by accident. Because I read something in the Indian Express about Guru Dutt's last day and last night, the suicide, which was narrated by Abrar Alvi. And I was very impressed by the way it had been narrated. And at the end of it, the author said, journalist said, if anybody wants to hear more stories, Abrar has plenty of stories. So I called him up, and then one thing led to another. I started there thinking I'd write an article, but I got a book out of it, and that was a biography. And then somebody told me, the editors told me, this is a very important role you have played of chronicling history.
Absolutely.
So I think that is what set me off. I said, let me start chronicling the history of people who are great.
Super. So, Satya, when you are writing a biography, you have every kind of data before you, right? I mean, you must be doing a whole lot of research before you even get into the first sentence.
Yes, that's necessary. Yeah.
So, does that make the writing process easier compared to working on other genres where you are crunching it the way it is moving? How is it for you?
Yes, because the material is ready-made. You have a life in front of you. You have either the interview of the person or people talking about the person or other published material, videos. Everything is available. So the material is there. But the challenge isn't any less. The challenge of writing it out is just as serious because you have to find a way to make it interesting. It's a long story. It's a long life. People want to, read very little stuff these days. Nobody has an attention span of more than 15 minutes. So the challenge is to make it work.
When it comes to writing a biography, I mean, I have often thought about it, and I haven't ever attempted a biography. So I'm really interested in knowing that while writing a biography, you probably enter into another person's life to a huge extent. How do you still keep yourself sane, actually? I mean, Guru Dutt was one person who was extremely...
It's a wonderful question because, Guru Dutt I went into because I wanted to escape my life for a while.
Oh, okay.
I was going through a bad patch in my work and it was giving me sleepless nights. They were trying to change everything that I was doing. They were taking away my baby, so to say, Femina from me, and I was very upset. And I told myself, if I enter this world, I will tell myself there is not only Femina. My life is not the beginning and end, with Femina. There's much more to it. And that is why I entered that world. So I would escape into the world whenever the anxiety got to me. But if you look at S.D. Burman, I had to really immerse myself into that because I was writing sections of it as S.D. Burman. I had to think like him. I had to think in the Bengali way of thinking. I've written letters in his name. So I had to imagine all that. And thank God I've lived in Calcutta and I understand the language. So it was not so difficult, but it was...
But you were entering another person's mind, right?
Absolutely. His mind, his life. And it used to be sometimes I'd be writing and somebody would walk in and I'd wonder where I was. That happens.
True that. And many of your biographies are on musical, personalities who have done very well in the music world.
Yes.
Why music only, or was it not a conscious?
It's a conscious choice. It's a conscious choice. Okay. There's Hemant Kumar also going to come up now.
Okay.
It's because I love music. I have never really had the chance to learn it as deeply as I want. And film music has been something that I have, it's part of me. I've grown up with it, singing it, listening to it. So I think I felt there were a lot of stories behind these songs, behind these people. And I said, let's explore it.
Wonderful. So, Satya, it is said that an author's life is very lonely. So, do you think a non-fiction author can manage to have a more interactive life, or it is equally lonely?
See, I write fiction too. I write poetry.
I know that.
I write drama. But the thing is that the act of writing, in fact, I wrote an article about this, which got published in Femina, in my back page, in my editorial, as an editorial, which expressed this. Because when you sit down to write, nothing can help you. It's a very lonely process. It's like a surgeon when he's operating, nothing can help him. He has to get it right. So if I don't get it, my book dies. Whatever I'm writing is dead. It's stillborn. So I have to get it right. And that is a very lonely process. You know, you're inhabiting another space, which is only yours. And you don't want interference and you can't seek help.
True that. So when you are writing your short stories or the fictions, do you feel much more in liberty, or do you have more freedom? Because that is a world you are completely creating by yourself and you are not under the compulsion of going by facts.
I don't think freedom is something that is lacking even in a biography, because it is the format that gives you the freedom. And even in fiction, all fiction is governed by fact. Everything that you speak in a story has happened somewhere, somehow. So I think it's the ability to be free within that constraint of not going beyond being readable. That is your major constraint, that you have to keep the interest going. Sure. But freedom is there, and yet there is a limitation which is unspoken, unseen, but it's there, whatever genre you're working in.
So today, if you are given a free run that you can attempt the biography of any contemporary personality, who would you choose and why?
I haven't given that much thought. But yes, it would be someone who has achieved something that I would have loved to have done. Like all these people I have written about have done stuff that I would have loved to have done. So maybe a great writer, maybe a great musician, or a great filmmaker, something to do with the arts, a great artist. Yes.
Today, in today's world, you have done musicians who are legends. In today's world, if I look at the time now, who do you think will become the legend in the days to come, or be considered the legend of the days to come?
I think we'll
let your perspective.
I would say maybe Shubha Mudgal.
Okay.
I mean, I really admire her music. But among the younger lot who are singing for cinema, I don't listen to them. I'm sorry to say. I'm an oldie when it comes to music.
You have named Shubha Mudgal, and I don't think, any music lover can not know her or won't relate to her. She has a voice of gold.
Yeah. Yes.
So, coming to your fictions, I was just, I have read a few and I was going through a few in the last few days. So From Me to You, The Dark Side, stories from Humpy House, Night Train and other stories. Your fictions have an element of mystic. Do you have a personal connection with that unexplained magic kind of genre?
Well, Me to You is of course editorial, so it's not really fiction. But yes, Dark Side, Night Train, the stories in Humpy House, they are they have that quality of magical realism, because sometimes I find I see things that are not as they are, and it comes from a fear of the dark. It comes from knowledge that there is much more in the universe than we can see and hear. So I believe in ghosts and spirits and all that. So I bring them down into my writing.
Okay, I mean, I have always been very mesmerized by the names you choose for your books because, Humpy House is a story by itself, even before I turn the first page, or Night Train. I mean, most of us who have spent our times during 80s and 90s have memories related to this. And even otherwise, we know what a Humpy House means. I mean, even before you explain it. So I wonder at times, where do you get these names from? Do they really exist?
Humpy House was the place we stayed in when we were doing my workshop. These are stories written by a group of us who did an art writer's residency at Kaladham. It was sponsored by JSW. It is their space, Humpy House.
Okay.
So we stayed there, and that is why it was called Stories from Humpy House.
Okay, and
Night Train is the part of a heading of one of my favorite stories, which is Night Train to Edinburgh. And I like trains, and night trains are particularly romantic, and I think they resonate with most people.
Yeah.
So that's what made me take that name for the books.
Right.
I like an element of romance in them.
So Satya, you had been writing for a very long time, and there are a lot of books that you have written. And I can see so many people who have reviewed your books, spoken about your books, discussed your books. And of course, there are literature festival discussions also. Now, something that I really wanted to ask you is, would you like to recall a book critic or book critics who you probably have never known personally, but then the review brought immense happiness? I mean, a critic, a real book critic that really appealed to you?
I think quite a few, actually. Bharadwaj Rangan, I had met him very briefly and did not really communicate. I mean, we didn't spend time chatting or anything. When he reviewed my book on S.D. Burman, he said he took a very long time over it. He was reviewing it for the Hindu, I think. Yeah. Okay. And he said, what made me take so long over is that every time I read about a song, I had to listen to the song, and then I was getting lost in that world. Then I had to go back to your book, and then another song would come up. I felt then I felt very happy because I realized I had pulled him into my book, into my world.
Absolutely.
The world that I had created. So that I was walking on the moon that day. And sometimes I get unknown people writing to me or meeting me even today, more than 10 years, 15 years after I left Femina, telling me, we read this in your Meet to You, we read that in your editorial, and it has stayed with us, or it helped me. I think that is my biggest reward.
Wonderful. The last question, Satya, that
sure.
If you were to be placed as a character in one of your books or stories, which book would you have loved to enter?
S.D. Burman.
S.D. Burman, you wanted to know him personally?
S.D. Burman. I would have loved to know him personally. I would have loved to sit and listen to the compositions, interact with all the people he interacted with, because he would be on the sets, he would be understanding the scene, he would be talking to the singers, he would be talking to the actors, he would talk to everybody. So I would have loved to see the process of how he made his music and how it converted into a song.
A masterpiece. So Satya, is there a biography that you wanted to really write and you probably couldn't find time, or you were never offered? Is there some such dream content waiting in your brain?
I think, yes, you have asked a question which is close to my heart. I tried very hard to try and do a interview-based biography with Lataji, but I never got down to meeting her. It's still my dream to meet her. And I tried very hard to do one on Ashaji. In fact, I communicated with her son. We went a certain distance about doing it, but that also, for whatever reasons, didn't happen. So these are two books that I would really have loved to write.
I really wish that you write, because I would trust that you would write it. Nobody would write it the way you would. So I really pray to God
very
that.
Sweet. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I have loved your books. I have read quite a few of them, and I have always loved your books. So I really pray that you get your dream fulfilled. And thank you so much once again.
Thank you. Thank you, Gordon. It's been lovely talking to you.